In this video, I'm gonna give you 3 absolutely insane money advice that you should never follow unless you want to find your purpose in life and you want to be making money by doing something you actually love. I am an immigrant here in New York City. I can barely pay my bills and I also have a $12,000 debt. How the fuck did I get here? This is actually a pretty sad story because I used to have a normal job in tech. I used to be making a little bit of the money and then I got laid off. The worst part is that I got laid off right after I moved to New York City, the most fucking expensive city in the world. 2 weeks after that, I'm getting laid off. And the most logical thing to do was to find another job to pay my bills, and I didn't do that. Instead, I was just getting my benefits, and when I ran out of this resource, I started using my credit card. How dumb. But here's why I think this was the right choice. I didn't do that because I was depressed. I didn't do that because I couldn't find a job. I did that to take some time and space to achieve something else. And I didn't do this because I was depressed. I didn't do this because I was lazy, and I didn't do this because I couldn't find a job. I did that to buy some time and space to get something else. I basically bought this time with my credit card money to get a new skill set, to get into new industry, and now I am a freelancer doing something I actually love. I am making money by being a YouTuber and helping other people to launch their YouTube channel. This is something I was actually dreaming of. And when I was getting into this industry, I was probably the happiest person in the world. Last year when I was turning 30, this is literally what I posted on my Instagram. Like, I finally know what I'm doing. And of course, it would be way better if I did that if I had any savings. Or if I did this as my part-time thing on the side while having a normal job. But I am so 100% sure that I wouldn't do this if I had a full-time job. And when we get in my chapter 3 of this video, I will explain you why I think it was impossible. It was impossible to have any money saved, and it was impossible to do anything part-time. I hate the feeling that I owe money to someone, that it's $12,000, but at the same time, it's just my life, and I don't want to be doing something I hate just to make money, just to make a living. So get in debt if you have to. This is not a financial advice. I'm not qualified to speak on that, but just from my life experience, this is not always a bad thing to do. Don't be scared to be broke. Don't be scared to sacrifice something to achieve your dream. One thing about me is that I actually had multiple lives within this life. I am 31, but I had so much in my life already. I was born and raised in Siberia. Then I went to college in Moscow. I was getting my master's degree. Then I moved here all by myself, no money, no connections. I used to be a bartender, I used to be a dancer, then I was in tech, and now I'm a YouTuber. So one thing I'm actually very good at is pivoting. So my advice number 2 is fuck all of your old achievements and pivot if you have to. I could be a doctor of political science and a college professor in Moscow. I could be a translator of English, Mandarin, and Russian, and traveling all over the world and helping businesses make money. And I could be a software engineer here in New York City. But I chose not to. And I think it was a very right thing to do. Every time I felt like I had to go somewhere else, I did that. And when I didn't do that, the universe was forcing me to get into something else, like with my layoff. And the reason I think you have to pivot is just to see what life has to offer. You can never get everything out of this life if you always stay in your line, if you never switch, especially if you feel like you have to. If I didn't do that, I would never be in New York City, I would never be in Brooklyn, and I would never be a YouTuber. Instead, I would probably be living in a small city in Siberia where I was born and raised. And if we talk about money here, I would tell you I would be making so much less money than I'm making right now. I do believe that everyone is guided by the universe and you have to go where you have to go. And the fun thing is that you don't even know where you're going and you don't have to know because you're being guided. When I was in tech, I didn't like this. I knew this wasn't something I would be doing my whole life, but it was pretty good. The money was pretty good. The company was great. You're doing something you hate. You're actually just losing time. I know it's so scary to go out there and do something new. That's why I was staying in tech for years out of fear. because I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel like I could do something. But you know what? Even though I had a stable job, I was making money, I was never saving money. And this is why. When you're doing something you hate, you can't feel happy anyways. So all the money I was getting, I was just spending, trying to fulfill this void inside of me. In a way, I was just trying to buy my happiness because I wasn't doing something that was making me happy. That's why I had to buy all of the stuff I didn't actually need. And guess what? When I didn't have a job, when I wasn't making any money, I wasn't buying anything, and I was the happiest ever. So it feels like you're safe. It feels like you have a stable job, and it's not smart to go out there and explore something else. But trust me, sometimes it's better to be broke but happy than to have money and be unhappy. I'd rather be doing something meaningful, something that fulfills me every day for less money than I'd be doing something that pays my bills. And I'm saying everything out of my experience. This is not a book knowledge. I'm saying everything out of my personal experience. This is not a book knowledge. No one would ever teach me get into debt, go broke. And I do believe that this was all the right things I had to do to get where I am now. Because if not my debt, if not my credit card, I would never get to do something I love. I would never learn to make money this way, the way I'm doing it now. And I'm so grateful that I am able to pivot whenever I feel like I have to. And all of this is just because I believe that every person on this planet is made for something special. That all of us have our own gifts, our own talents, and one of the life goals of each of us should be turn our passions into our money. And that's exactly what I did. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.